mental health perspective, I'm doing good today. It was a busy day, but I don't know. I'm telling you, there was a saying that I remember somebody saying to me, or not saying to me, but maybe I saw it on the wall when I wasn't doing so well. And the saying said, okay, my best my worst day in recovery is better than my best day. Oh shoot, I can't remember exactly how the phrase went. I'm gonna look it up when I get off here, but what the phrase was essentially alluding to was that the worst that I could possibly feel right now is better than the best day that I had when I was going through the worst times, if that makes any sense. Like if you had a stretch of time like I did where life just didn't feel worth living for like a big year or two span of time, and then you get out and you start, getting yourself back together, and you have a bad day, and your bad day just does not match your worst day that you ever had. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. And then especially even in recent time, just comparing my last job to this job, I mean, this was probably one of the most difficult days I've had at the job, outside of my first week. It was really hectic in the first week, but this is outside of that, one of the hardest times I've had at the job. But the hardest day that I have had so far at this job is pretty much better than my best day at my last two jobs, because it wasn't hard, like stressful, toxic. It was a little bit stressful, but it wasn't like toxic. It was just that the actual work was more than what it usually is when I have all this free time. Because today there was a few people that called out, so I had extra work to do than what I normally would. Hi Marshall, hi your bro, and hi Jay. How's everybody doing, and how are y'all days going? Shout out to the dogs in the crib. Oh, shout out to the algorithm, because the algorithm just sent me about 16 people that have not been here before. Say, I'm just here to grind and stay hard. Love you, man. May your family be safe and secure. I appreciate it. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So one thing I was gonna say was I didn't make this its own live, but I was looking at this video of Frank on the Zach Nichols podcast, and he was talking about Zach was asking him if he had the opportunity to split the money with his partner Sam at the end of the challenge, the challenge All Stars 5, which was Rivals themed, if he would split the money, and he was like, eh. He said, I would really struggle with that because, hi Ma, if I didn't say that. He said he would have really struggled with that because basically he was saying his partner was out of shape. He didn't say that, but when he says performance, we know that he's talking about her ability to do the cardio activities that were involved in the final. So he said, oh, well, maybe we should split it where I get 99. We split it by performance, which would give me 99% and would give her 1%. I have a mixed bag of feelings about that. Let me finish my thought before I read that, if you have time to wait. If you don't, I'm sorry. But I have a mixed train of thought on that. Now, I think that knowing that Rival's themes have provided one person being able to take the money as a twist, I think that I would do something similar to what Adam and Steve did, which is to have that conversation beforehand and say, okay, we know that this is a possibility. So if this were to go down and we were to win, would you split the money with me, yes or no? And, I mean, I guess somebody could still lie and say, yes, I would split the money with you, and then just not do it. But I think that, oh man, it's so hard though. Because when Adam was interviewed about it, and Adam was like, they were asking Adam if it was hard for him to choose to split the money. Not Adam, sorry, Steve. When Steve was interviewed about it and asked if it was hard for him to split the money with Adam, he was alluding to, well, we did have an agreement about splitting the money already. But he was like, a million things go through your mind when you actually get there. Because what if Adam lied to him this whole time like Johnny Bananas, and then he gets to the final, and then they win the final, and then he has a choice, and then he gets to watch Adam walk away with a $250,000 check. And I'm sure that Adam had the same things going through his mind as well, because there's no honor amongst thieves, number one. Number two, there's no legally binding contracts that actually say, I have to split this money with you. And Zach actually said on his Zach Nichols podcast that there's only a few people he would split the money with, that he would take the whole 250 to himself. All right. Give me some advice on my schedule. After coming home from college, I slept for 7 hours and studied the whole night. Then again, go to college. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know if this is a bot comment or a legitimate question, but I didn't sleep in college, so I can't really give you that advice. The best advice I could give you is just do your homework ahead of time. Like, don't leave any assignments to the last minute. I don't know what you do with your extracurricular activities, but maybe try to limit those to mostly doing that on the weekends. Like, you're there for school. And I'm saying this as somebody who didn't really lock into any of that until my senior year, but you are there for school. I don't look anything like Shaq. What are you talking about? That's actually one of the worst comparisons that I've gotten. I've gotten a lot of comparisons to different black people that don't look like me, but that right there was one of the bottom of the barrel. I gotta be honest with you. About that. Hi, Cass. You did make it, and I'm not yet about to jump off. You made it about the midway point today, so that's an improvement. I would stay on longer, but my phone is actually 31%, and it's not gonna last enough. Color doesn't matter, okay. Yeah, but interestingly, I'm not even joking when I say I didn't sleep in college. My life when I was a college student, right? Especially the first 3 years of my college experience. I don't even know if you're talking about college, but that's just the most recent school that I've done. So that's why my mind is going there. So in college, when I first was away from home, well, I was away from home at an early age, but my first experience being an adult away from home, and say that. It was really hard for me to structure my life because I was like, I have so much freedom. Nobody can force me to go to class. Nobody can force me to go to bed. Nobody can really question where I'm going or what I'm doing. So at this point in time, I'm free to do anything I want. So my social life, my first 2.5, 3 years in college was a priority to me. But I tried to mix the social life and the academics together. So what was happening is that I would have my social life, which is I'd be hanging out with my friends, doing whatever, and then I would get home very late, sometimes in the morning, and then from there, sometimes I remember there were times when I would literally just go, I wouldn't even sleep for the night. I literally would not sleep for the night. I would just get back to my apartment, and then from there I would just get my books together and go right to class. My schedule was terrible. And then when it came to finals, midterms and finals and stuff, or projects, I would do like 4 days, 3 to 4 days of all-nighters. And then I would just sleep all day for a few days to catch up after that was done. If I pull an all-nighter, okay. One time last year or the year before, I had to work starting at 8, and I was up until 5 a.m. and I slept from like 5 to 7:30 a.m. It took me 3 days to feel functional again. I don't have that ability anymore. Those days are over for me. I'm probably a night owl to an extent, but not like how my life was before. I used to go to bed late and wake up early every single night. Now I can't function. If I have less than about 5 hours, like I'm tired right now, and I slept from 1 or 2 until about 7. So I might have gotten 6 hours of sleep last night, but I'm tired now. If I got 4 hours of sleep, don't count on me for anything. I will be useless to you. You're going through an exam week as well. Going to college after pulling an all-nighter. It was, well, I will also add, sometimes I would sleep in class. That's another side of it. Sometimes I would sleep in my class. Or even if I would show up to class, it was just to make sure I got the attendance. And that was all. I'm gonna pull a nighter. It's not on mute, man. Like I'm gonna actually show you guys that this has not been on mute for I don't know how long. Because once I learned where the mute button is on the phone, I have not muted this one time. So this guy came back to prove that I should delete him from the channel. Hold on. Oh, Cass already did it. Thanks, Cass. Because whoever that was making some questionable statements yesterday, but I said, how about I just time them out for 24 hours? They just came back in 24 hours just to make a final comment. That is a dedicated troll, man. That is a really dedicated troll. I had to give you that. I'm 21, man, so I'm sacrificing. No, but here's the thing. You don't have to sacrifice your sleep. If you plan your day properly, you don't have to sacrifice your sleep. That was the point that I was making. I mean, I guess good luck to me trying to convince a 21-year-old of that, but it's the truth, man. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. We all just use them differently. I put an all-nighter in art college once to finish my wire sculpture of the band Kiss on stage. Hey, I'm back. There are many figures out of wire and the stage was out of wire. Kiss, what made you do Kiss? Trolls are crazy. Some days are tough, so I have to. Do I prefer? I always preferred studying at night. Good luck getting me to study during the day. I always did the majority of my studying at night. Like when I wake up in the morning, it's funny. They say that your sleep schedule changes your body clock. That does not apply to me because I was out of a job for 6 weeks, and before then I was 5 years, 6 years of having to wake up at 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning. But when I didn't have the job, I was waking up 10, 11, 12. When I get up at 7:30 every morning, it takes my brain an extra 2 to 3 hours. I'm not functional until about 11 o'clock, and everybody knows it. I can't hide it in an office. That's my whole thing. I cannot hide it in an office. Yeah, bro, me too. I used to love Kiss, and they have distinct makeup that was recognizable when I made the faces. Aesthetics. Alright. I sleep whenever. I just want 7 hours of sleep, man. And then I wake up, sleep from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. and I got 7 hours total. I'm still gonna feel tired. I need 5 hours in a row at the minimum. If I catch my 5 hours, I can function. Am I gonna be like 100%? No, but I can function with 5 hours of sleep in a row. But if now I'm just taking a nap here and I'm taking a nap there, it's not a thing. All right. Basically, I was an average middle class family. You're giving your whole history here, huh? Then I cleared an engineering exam called G, which I only 1% people are selecting. I cleared. Now I'm in IIT. It's an institution it's like MIT. Interesting. I want to do stuff with my crafting and sculpting again. I have so many ideas. Yeah, I'm getting terrible with focusing on my passions. I used to be so big on that. I used to be so big on what I do in my day-to-day to get by in terms of work is separate from, my goals and my dreams and my passions. But now I just get so wrapped up in the things that I have to do that I don't put enough time or focus on the things that I like to do. There's a lot of things that I want to pick back up. Oh, listen, I live for a nap. Everyone knows that. I just don't have the option anymore. But when I was working remote, I would hit that nap every single day. 1, 12, 1, 2. Sometimes I'd nap at 10 a.m. But like I said, now I don't have that as an option anymore because I work in an office. The only way I would be able to nap is if I napped in my car. And I could nap in my car, but I'm not a car napper. I can nap in my car on a road trip or something if someone else is driving, that type of thing. I do not want to be passionate about getting health insurance. No, I'm not from Texas. I'm from Canada. Yeah, it's windy out. Actually, it's not that windy. It probably just sounds windier than it is. Like, it is slightly windy. But it always sounds worse on the camera. This whole door open. An OG Hoods member? What does that mean? Yes, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell. Thank you, Marshall. You really look 23 or 21. I've heard that before. Not recently, though. I usually get like 25, 26. Just Marshall Mathers. I'm going to be turning this off in a second, but I'll be back in 5 minutes once I get back out of the store. So if you have to go, thanks for joining me. But if you are still going to be on here, all right. Now I feel like when we left off, your bro was saying some trollish stuff. So, but we'll find out. Was he trolling? The comments looked trollish from the beginning, but because of my YouTube community, I give people more of a chance. Because I promise you that when I was the only mod on my channel, People used to get blocked in like 2 seconds. But now everyone will be like, that's not fair. I don't think that was really a troll. I do not give people on the internet the benefit of the doubt. Guilty until proven innocent. Because in real life, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, I try to think about everybody's background, circumstances. Maybe they're just having a bad day. You know, maybe they have some things going on and they're taking it out on me. You know, sometimes I take those things into account in my life. But one second. All right. I used to be lenient. I was never lenient. Actually, I guess I was lenient when I first had my when I had my music and mental health channel. I guess at the beginning of that channel, I didn't tend to block a whole lot of people, but then people started getting crazy on that channel. And from there, they transformed me into Blockmaster 3000, who blocks first and asks questions later. That's it. Hey, you guys. Hey, bestie Vicky. Are we live again? Yeah, so I'm going to be on for like another, I want to say 10 minutes. I'll be on for about 10 more minutes, and then I'm hopping off. Oh, I got this cool news, man. Sometimes I'm hesitant to announce my news on YouTube, though. But I will say this. Good Morning America is having a live 5K run in New York City. And the run is going to be televised. And I got selected. To do that run. So, will I make it to TV? I don't know. But it's just, to me, it's just like a cool experience to, you know, be on this televised run for Good Morning America. And I think what I'm going to do, I have to make myself some custom gear just in the event that I get on the TV. Because who knows, I could get on the TV, I could get interviewed. I'm always looking for the exposure. Because you never know. One of these days, the exposure might lead to bigger things for me. Or I could just be in the middle of the crowd, because I've had both happen before. I've been like front and center next to Tamron Hall. I've been like, what's his name? Nick Cannon gave me a hug on his TV show. You know, those kind of things have happened. But I've also sat in audiences where things were recorded and nobody saw me. I was actually in a paid taping last December and nobody saw me on the video. But I did say to myself, hey, even if nobody saw me, at least I got paid. I need the exposure as well. I would never want to be real life famous, but I would not mind being social media famous. Social media famous, I feel, is like a whole different thing from real life famous. Like, real life famous is I'm driving my car and I jump out and I go to the grocery store and somebody's like, "Oh my God, it's you. Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture with you? Can I get an autograph?" Versus, like, I have had probably about 7 or 8 people total ever say, "I recognize you, Mark, from your YouTube page," when they met me. And that was at specific niche events. It was because it was at a Big Brother event or a challenge event, and they see me doing coverage of that stuff. But if I go down the street, nobody knows me from that. So that's why I said social media famous is definitely a whole different thing from like real life famous. I would never want to be famous. I have such a... I don't like people. I mean, I know that people don't believe this when I tell them that, because within my field of work, I'm like I'm not going to say I'm like extra friendly, but I know people who are a lot grouchier than me. I'll put it like that. I'm pleasant. That's what I should say. That's the best way I can say that. I'm a very pleasant person to be around in work settings and work environments. But when I clock out at night, I'm not that same person. And to be honest, I've said this before, but I treat YouTube the same way. Because there have been times when people have gotten onto my YouTube channel and said crazy things to me. Mostly during the Big Brother season. In the off season, I'll get a few here and there. But during the Big Brother season, sometimes I get a lot of crazy comments. And some people will look at my comments and they'll be like, "I'm going to say what you're too afraid to say," or "I'm going to say what you're too nice to say." And I'm like, it's not that I'm too nice to say it. It's that I'm on a platform that is kind of a business endeavor in addition to being a hobby, because it is something that produces some money. Like, it's not making me rich or anything, but I didn't just get on here for kicks and giggles. So I try my best. That's why I don't engage with trolls. That's just me. Because I know other channels that live for when the trolls make comments. Because when the trolls make comments, they'll spend the whole live just roasting them. I will make one comment and then I'm done. Just block them. I've never even seen your face, so you're probably good. That is a true fact for me. Privacy out the door if you become too famous. Fun fact is, prior to... What are you honking at? Prior to 2022... Prior to 2022... Oh, are you kidding me? Sorry about that. Prior to 2022, I didn't make videos online. I made videos, but not with my face or my voice. I only started doing that because I was getting frustrated with the fact that nobody was watching my videos. So I said, let me give this live thing a try. See if that makes a difference. And it did. My first year covering Big Brother, I only covered Big Brother for about 6 weeks. And I made about $600. Not from YouTube views, but from donations. Like about $600. Which is funny because I don't think that Big Brother has produced me that kind of money since. That was like the first and only. I don't know what's going on with all this honking at this point. Makes no sense. Okay. There's so much traffic. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. Alrighty. You can fake niceness. I can't fake niceness, but what I can fake is, I was gonna say pleasantry, but that's probably not a word. I can fake pleasantness. Because I'm not like a super nice person. For instance, there are certain clients, they're very needy. There's no other way to put it. They're very needy clients. And they'll come to you and they'll ask you the same questions over and over again. I'll be like, I'm sorry. I have things to do, but, go to this person because they'll be able to answer your question for you. I'm not that. BRB. So, I'm just doing my some advertising here, so push inside. I saw an opportunity to advertise my program. I'm kind of doing some pretty big things at work, I think. I feel like I am. So, right. And leave it to me not to have my flyers with me. I wish they were not New York only so that I can advertise. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you. So I can basically tell you all about what's happening with my job. To summarize, to put it in layman's terms, not that it's complicated, but it's just like unless you like live in this state and work in this field, it's not really going to be relevant to you. But we have these services where people that have certain backgrounds with mental health disorders and or substance abuse qualify to have individuals work with them in the community. So they have these places like what I go to, which are day programs, where those same such individuals come there for the day and they learn coping skills and coping tools and different things to help them integrate back into society, or just help them with advocacy skills and different things like that. And then okay, so my director at my job is trying to build that program up from the ground, and it just started some few months ago, and I told her that it's a project that I'm willing to undertake. So it's kind of a big look. So I've been just putting out flyers everywhere, and if I have a hand in building this thing up, I think that a possible bigger position than what I'm in now could open up for me. But we'll see. We'll see. I've never done anything for a job where I basically have never really been on a job and thinking bigger than my position, and that's just because I would get to the job and I would check the landscape and the climate, right? And then what would happen from there I would check the landscape and the climate, and what would happen from there is that I would see that the only thing that you get rewarded for when doing hard work is that you get more hard work to do. So at this particular job, the landscape seems to be like a little bit different to me. So it seems like hard work gets rewarded with new money. That's my take on it. But anyways, thanks for joining me. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank you all. Enjoy your day.